we count them and up. You was dead broke, I let you hold it back. You paid for it, but I f***ed around and stole the track. Screaming gang, gang, now you want to rap. Racketeering charges, caught them on the tap. Looking for a bond, lawyers want to tax. Purple hair, got them so you best free. Friends when nobody else can tell us what to be.
Good morning, it's long here.
So my I need you. Do all the fame, you know I stay true. Pray my stay free. Made a few mistakes, but this ain't where I wanna be. Before I'm judged by 12, put a 12 on my feet. So my I need you. Stay up, I know these times ain't true. Real life, yeah, free. Bad investigations, heard they plotting like I trap. 20 million cash, they know I got that up for rap. Maybe it's the Mike Moments or the Robert Crafts. Or the billionaire from Marcy and the way they got my pick. See how I prevailed and then they try to knock me back. Put me in the cell for all them nights that I won't snack. 250 a show and they still think I'm selling crack. When you bring my name up to the judge, you tell them facts. Tell them
Hey,
how we funded all these kids to go to college. Tell them how we ceasing all these wars, stopping violence. Trying to fix the system in the way that they designed it.
So it don't allow you to review your timeline.
It says it's on there, but it won't show
Hey, Brad. Hey, everybody. Tuning in. Good morning. It's crazy. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone.
Yes, what's free?
What is free?
I wonder if it's on her show that she created. On my timeline.
In the land of the free where the blacks enslaved. 3/5 of a man, I believe's the phrase. I'm 50% of Duce and it's debt free, yeah. 100% of Ace of Spade, worth half a beat. Rock Nation, half of that, that's my piece. 100% of title to bust it up with my cheese. Smokes my won't ever work together. You run a checkup, but they never give you leverage. No red hat, don't Michael and Prince.
Good morning, everyone.
They separate you when you got Michael and Prince's DNA. I ain't one of these houses. You bought my house like a resort. My house bigger than yours, my spot. Come on, man.
He killed that.
He did.
He really did. Oh, nuts.
Okay, good morning, everyone. We're back with another episode of the Miseducation of Senae and Ashley. That was What's Free by Meek Mill, Rick Ross, and Jay-Z.
What is free?
What's free? We're going to go ahead and jump right into it. Oh, we got some big news. We got some news. You want to give it to them?
So, we always tell y'all we got stuff in the works, which we always really do have stuff in the works. And we are teaming up with DFW iRadio, and we will be having and starting an online radio show starting this Friday.
This Friday, our radio show will commence. It will start. It will be live. And what is it? Fridays at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time.
It'll be the first and third Friday of every month.
The first and third Friday of every month, we'll be having our radio show, the Miseducation of Senae and Ashley. We'll be broadcasting to the masses. And we'll go ahead and go live or like let y'all know when our radio show is and mark it and get some publicity around it. But it starts this Friday.
This Friday at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, and it's gonna be live. It's gonna be live. Thank you, y'all.
It's lit. It's lit. We getting out there.
It's my face. It's just my face today. It's because that chemical pill so spicy yesterday. My face spicy still.
Yes. So we'll go ahead and go through the format. Thank you, everyone. So obviously with our show, for people who are new that are tuning in, we start with our flunkies, and those are the people who just did the absolute most throughout the week. They need to be chastised. They need to be put in timeout and all of that.
They straight trash, dumpster juice.
Straight trash. And then after our flunkies, we roll into our graduates, and those are the people that deserve praise and that the media may not have shine light on them for whatever reason.
Right.
And then we roll into our sports.
And then we'll have an open discussion today.
Our open discussion is going to be lit.
As usual.
I believe. I haven't talked about it yet, but...
I haven't either, so this is going to be interesting.
It should be real interesting. But we'll go ahead and jump into our first flunky of this week.
Which is crazy because we didn't put him on last week because I know
He
folks
wasn't
was
on
tired
there
of him.
last week.
And it really ain't, it's him, but it's really not him. It's just somebody associated with him. So if you guys
But it's still him.
know, if you guys haven't heard, Trump's lawyer,
Michael
Cohen.
Michael Cohen. Let me hold on, y'all. I gotta make sure y'all see this. All right.
This is them together. He, of course, you know who 45 is. So the
Donald
person next to
Trump,
him,
Michael Cohen, and if you don't know, well, we're here to bring you the facts anyway. Michael Cohen just pled guilty to lying to Congress. Now he did go into detail. He said he was lying to Congress for individual one. He didn't name Trump. They asked who individual one was after he pled guilty, and he said Donald Trump. So, And his statement was, I was aware of individual one's repeated disavowals of commercial and political ties between himself and Russia. His repeated statements that investigations of such ties were politically motivated and without evidence, and that any contact with Russian nationalists by individual one's campaigns or the Trump organization had all terminated before the Iowa caucus, which was on February 1st of 2016. So basically, thank you, Darnell. So basically, Cohen is saying that he basically told Congress what Trump told him to tell them. And you know Trump's been on Twitter, of course, you know,
Twitter
trying
fingers.
to go in on Cohen and all
yeah,
this stuff.
boy,
Like,
he is hard.
don't act like this ain't your right-hand man or was not your right-hand
Boy,
man.
he throw you under the bus so quick.
Real quick. Like, come on, Donald.
Boy, and Cohen been looking so pitiful. Every
He
picture,
has.
every
Oh
video
my
I seen of him,
God.
he just looks so sad. I'm like, bro, you should have known what was coming.
Cohen said he knowingly gave false answers in 2017 to the Senate and the House Intelligence Committees.
I mean,
So that further
incriminates.
I mean,
To me, doesn't that incriminate?
it does, because
Yeah.
how is everybody around you lying? Donald Trump. How is everybody around Donald Trump lying? But
Your daughter,
But
your
you-
emails, your son. I mean,
But
the
you're
lawyer.
innocent. But you're innocent. Okay. And we also brought up another colleague of Donald Trump's, which I'm sure a lot of people don't know about. But this lady's name is Maria Butina. Please take a good look at her.
Big supporter of the NRA.
She's a big supporter of the NRA. She's been showing her face at NRA conferences. If you don't know who the NRA is, that is the National Rifle Association. Those are the people who are pro-guns. They are pro-American citizens owning guns and things like that. They don't say anything when we have these mass school shootings and things like that.
Yeah, but they speak out on.
But they speak out on other things. So Maria Butina, she... After Cohen pled guilty, Maria Butina came back and pled guilty in engaging in conspiracy against the United States.
She's an alleged Russian spy.
She's an alleged Russian spy. So, did she look Russian? Did she look Russian? She looked like she trying to fit in.
She don't look. I don't know. I guess it's hard to say what an American really looks like because we're a melting pot. Mm-hmm. But she just looked. I don't know.
And she's been infiltrating the NRA. She's been infiltrating our government. And I mean, dang. So Trump is still out here saying we have no ties. Russia had no dealings in the investigation. He has no ties with them. But we got alleged Russian spies over here operating in, things like the NRA of all things.
I'm just trying to figure out when everything is going to line up and they're finally
incriminate
going to,
him.
Yes, and they're going to try to impeach him and put him on trial or whatever, because, like, it just don't make sense. Like, all this stuff, you're connected to all these people who have done illegal activity. And you haven't, and there's nothing, like, nothing has been done yet. Now with maybe the Dems being having a hand, more of a pull right now, maybe they'll push for it. I've seen that. That's something.
And the
that they're
thing
trying to
is,
push for.
I think this is bigger news than the Cohen news, because I think everybody already knew that
Everybody
he
knew
was
he
lying.
was doing stuff.
But
yeah.
here we go. We have an alleged Russian spy, Maria Butina, and it says here that she sought to establish unofficial lines of communication with Americans having power and influence over U.S. politics. So she attempted to infiltrate Republican political circles and influence U.S. relations with Russia before and after the 2016 presidential election. That's crazy.
That's too much. I didn't even take in all of that. That's just too much. That sounds...
That's crazy. That's crazy to me.
I guess we're just going to see how it play out, because it don't make sense.
It seemed like everybody pleading guilty now. I mean, it seemed
You
like
might as well
once Cohen went down, then everybody else is like, okay, we can't hide it no more.
I wonder if he's giving names though.
He probably is giving names.
Because at this point, might as well.
So it's pretty much safe to say that our entire, we already knew the election was suspect, but it's pretty much safe to say that our entire, government has been infiltrated. But we'll keep a close eye on that, and we'll keep you guys updated on what exactly
is
going down going forward. Next,
our next flunky is Florida, the state of Florida. Thousands of mailed-in ballots in Florida were not counted. So my boy got cheated.
And I think we talked about this a couple weeks back when they were doing the runoff.
Right.
They were doing the runoff. And in what kind of world are you running for something and you don't count all the votes?
Talking about,
even in school, like when we was running for homecoming queen, all the votes was tallied.
I heard when I was reading that article, they said one of the things that they were the state was trying to say was the ballots weren't sent in. They actually had to be at the facility at the date, not just sent in on that date, which makes no sense to me, because that's not something I thought it was. They had to be sent off at a certain date. Like you post dated for whatever, I don't know what day this would have been in particular, but it would have been post dated for that day, not had to be at the facility.
They may need to reform the guidelines for mail-in ballots, because like you said, the Florida officials say that, the mail-in ballots were not counted because they were delivered too late to the offices. Now, to me, that shouldn't be the voters' fault. Unless they just...
I didn't know that.
Because you technically have to depend on USPS to get it there,
right? But that's just like you have up until the day of to vote. So why wouldn't... if there's a different, like you said, a different way to tally votes that are supposed to come in through mail, then why don't you tell them, okay, you guys have to vote, like, y'all have a week prior to everybody else to send your stuff in so it can get into the facility, if that's the case. Because
why are we still doing mail-in ballots?
That was really where I was going to go at next.
Can't you just be, can I be in Arlington and let's say that I'm originally from Florida, can I not go into a ballot place and just click that I'm out of town and I need to vote for this election?
The way technology is today, you would think
that mail-in ballot is just another way
to suppress
the voters. That's all that is.
Well, I don't know.
So it was actually 6,670 ballots. They were mailed in ahead of the November 6th election, but were not counted because they were received after the election day. So these people, this almost 7,000 people, they did their part. They sent them out in time. They just didn't get there.
I feel like another thing that they need to revamp with the voting thing. The comment we see, but it's not like that long as they got the last day of voting post dated on the mail-in ballot. And I can't read the rest of the comment, but I'm pretty sure it's probably what we just said. Like, if it's post dated, it's supposed to be counted.
Yes, they just acknowledged here that they voted prior to the election.
Yeah.
So if the male men, male women are taking their time, USPS, they're taking their time and getting it to the people who tally the votes, then that's not the voters' fault. And it's not the voters' fault.
I would say it's really not even you. They know how much stuff that these folks be pushing. I believe this
mail-in ballots. No,
it's for general
election. Yep, it's not even for early voting, but they voted in time.
They cheated my boy.
But that's the thing. My opinion, I really think that we need to go back, because these voting guidelines that we're going by, they're so old school, and like mail-in ballots. Why are we still mailing in ballots? First of all, because mail gets lost all the time.
Do you? Packages don't get to where they
Packages don't get. They tell us we gonna get it by December 16th. We don't get it till the 20th. So, I mean, I don't think that's a reliable way to vote at all.
It's no way, with the way Facebook, all these social media outlets, it's really no reason why we can't vote via social media, via phone, via, not leave my house and do it, to be completely honest. But we'll see. Maybe they'll revamp it. But Florida, y'all wrong for that. Because I really feel like that race for the Senate and the governor race was really close. I believe, I don't know if the senator, I can't remember if the senator race was pretty close, but I do know that governor race was really close, and that probably could have made all the difference.
7,000 votes. I mean,
it was. I think, and I believe it was within 5,000 to 10,000 votes for Gilliam and with Brian.
So
no, that's Georgia.
To me, that's unacceptable. You can't tell me, oh, we're not counting these 7,000 votes that are sitting right there. That's not saying that they were all for Andrew Gillum. But you can't say, oh, we have 7,000 votes right there. We're just not gonna. We know they voted on time. We're not gonna count them because we received them after the election day. We can't do that. That's
Florida always got something going on. Trash.
That's what they said. How about we just don't let Florida vote?
Right, because there's always something going on with them. Always.
No more voting. I mean, we already getting hacked. I mean, they not count 7,000 votes. That's a form of suppression.
It's almost a
lose-lose. I mean,
what other way? That's just like here in Texas, people who voted, if they voted
straight Democrat,
it was switching it over to Republican.
So either way, I mean, they got their hands in any form of voting. The hands is in there. So, period.
I mean, they need to find a more... They need to find a better way,
a more secure way.
Right. I don't know why. I mean, but you know what? Your account, my debit card can get hacked. My phone
everything get hacked. Your
hacked.
Facebook, your social media get hacked. I mean, that's the world we live in. That's why I say we need a better method of voting. Period.
Yeah, we do. We really do.
We need a better method of voting, and we need updated voting guidelines.
Yes,
because we still back in the 1960s,
girl. If not,
mailing in ballots and stuff. Come on,
that don't make sense. It doesn't.
So we'll leave that alone because we can talk about that all day. Period. And my favorite word is period. Now,
our next flunky, the NYPD.
Haven't they been on here for like 2 or 3 weeks straight?
Girl,
the NYPD.
Somebody
every week they up to something.
And this week we actually placed them on the flunky list for the video that went viral. I know if you have social media, you probably seen it. The young lady, about like she was 22, 23 years old, with her 1-year-old that was sitting in the, was she in the WIC office? She was in some type of government office.
She was sitting on the
ground.
Floor.
There was no seats left. Mm-hmm. They told her to get up and leave, even though there was no seats left. They told her to get up and leave, and I guess she didn't leave initially. And so they really like physically tried to remove her, and they tried to pull her son away from her. I mean, that, bro, I would have been.
They would have had to kill me right then and there.
Yeah,
right then and there. And then this really makes me mad. You know, I go back and forth. I said in 2019 I'm not going back and forth with nobody no more. But these people on Facebook, they were saying that she did not comply. Multiple people saying that she did not comply, and if she would have complied, then she wouldn't have been in that situation.
My issue is what does me sitting on the floor have to do with anything?
What crime is that?
That
do you
makes
see
no
any
sense.
other seats? Do you see any other chairs around
That makes
here?
no sense. And secondly, you could peacefully. It shouldn't have been that escalated. Okay, they shouldn't have really called the police.
And why
on
so
her.
many? Like, I don't understand. Like, this is like probably like the 5th incident that we talked about with an African American young lady that multiple cops have had to handle the situation. Why? There's a one cop
right
situation.
But they do that kind of stuff. Just like I said, every time. I mean, when we all got pulled over that one time when I was driving, it was just one cop. But I've gotten pulled over multiple times where it was one cop initially. Next thing I know, I look, it's about 4 cops, one on my passenger side. I'm like, bro, you would have thought I just robbed the bank and killed somebody. Many cops that done called on me like I'm finna do something.
So this
y'all got guns already
right.
drawn. Like, nah, bro.
So this was a welfare office, and they say that the cop that was not yanking the baby was brandishing a yellow stun gun towards the other people in the room because they were getting escalated because they were yanking the little baby. So y'all gonna stun people for trying to take up for this young lady. These cops be abusing their power.
And people
That's
too,
what it is.
like whoever called the police on her.
Like, why you do that?
Like, come on now, she was sitting there. Then you guys find her seat. You see she had a child with her. Then find the solution to the problem instead of just making the solution be call the police. That's y'all issue. I'm gonna say it. People who do that kind of stuff. That's y'all issue. Y'all always want to call the police. Everything has to be escalated to that point. Okay, she's sitting on the floor, so we gonna call the police.
And you know they actually put her in jail. She was actually in jail for 4 or 5 days off of that, and then they let her out. They let her out with no charges, no nothing, just no bond, no nothing, just let her out. But then the NYPD chief came back and supported the officer's actions.
And then they had her in Rikers Island, girl.
And then she had Rikers Island like she done killed somebody.
I was like, baby, is this episode of Law and Order? SVU? Because, you know, they be sending them to Rikers all the time. That's, to me, that's like...
She was in Rikers for almost a week.
And I feel like that's like a very rough
prison.
Maybe they had the like county part or something, but like I hear Rikers Island, the first thing I think is murderers, rapists, and Law and Order SVU.
And the thing is, and Lord, let's hope this don't never happen
to me. And y'all gonna send me to Lulu? I'm finna tear it up.
If you're gonna take me to jail, if you're gonna take me to jail, then we gotta come up with a reason here. We gotta get aggressive. Something gotta go down.
Cause Rikers can't be no county jail, bro.
There's not no county jail.
There are murderers in Rikers Island. Rikers Island is known for. You gonna put me in Rikers?
When I saw she was in Rikers Island, my heart broke. Cause I was like, I want to know what they had her booked. What did they have her booked under? Because they released her, no bond, no nothing.
Girl, that's like y'all trying to send me to Lulu. I'm finna act a fool.
We gotta Lulu
is county, but like y'all ain't finna.
We gotta act
or y'all send me to Huntsville.
We gotta act up
to prison.
You got.
Cause that's basically.
I'm gonna give you a
Rikers
reason.
Island is like that is a prison.
I'm gonna give you a reason, especially. I mean, this little boy was 1 year old, and you yanking him. She telling you that you hurting him, and you continue. Okay, it's time to get aggressive. I'm sorry, y'all. This was totally uncalled for, but not surprising, from NYPD at all. And you yanking on a 1-year-old kid that's in his mother's arms. Just ask for her to leave, and it only takes one officer for one lady with a 1-year-old child. I'm sorry.
It just blows my mind because y'all already know what the issue is in America and how how our community and law enforcement the disconnect already. Mm-hmm. So the aggressiveness to come in. It seemed like they came in on one because, of course,
I'm gonna be
defensive. I'm gonna be defensive if you come in like, okay, you need to leave, and you're trying to physically remove me, and all I was doing was sitting on the floor, waiting for my turn or whatever the case may be.
Right.
Yeah. The 23. I forgot his name. Yeah. 23-year-old. I wouldn't be able to. I think he has a documentary on Netflix, if I'm not mistaken. But he was in Rikers Island. They was beating him. The officers and stuff in Rikers Island were like beating him. His cellmate, like, I mean, he was.
But the relationship between and a lot of people tend to think that it's African American men in police. No, it's black people. Period.
Yeah.
And law enforcement. Period. If you walking into a welfare office with multiple officers, there's a lady sitting on the ground with her child because there's no seats, and you get the yanking, and then you send her to Rikers Island with no charges.
Y'all sent me to Rikers Island. Y'all sent I really.
We gonna get some charges. Yeah, we finna make some charges up.
Like, y'all sent me to Rikers Island. Like, that, man, like I said, I thought I was watching it. I was reading an episode, a script for Law & Order SVU.
Did you see the video though? That hurt.
Yeah, I watched half of it, and I couldn't even finish it.
That video, she was telling them, "You're hurting my son. You're hurting my son."
I was sitting on the floor.
We're not mothers, but as a mother, if you're a good mother, your child's safety come before anything. So pull on me, don't pull on my 1-year-old child. Don't yank him. And if I was her,
but if you seen that I had a child in my arms, then y'all should have the whole thing. It should have been a different way to come about it. Like,
and it is minorities. Period. Yeah.
They bruh, just know
this is crazy. You sit in Rikers Island for a week. Bro, I can't get past that. And you let me go, no bond, no nothing.
I'm finna sue New York.
Oh, and she better get to suing. Facts.
I'm finna sue. You send me to Rikers Island.
She better get to suing. She needs to sue for emotional distress. She needs to sue for her son's medical bills. I already know something going on. She yanked at I say he got dislocated shoulders and everything.
Yeah, they was really pulling on him.
Yes. Girl, yes. And will forever be traumatized. So we gonna keep up with this. Yeah. I do pray that she take legal action against NYPD because they being real, she should have complied, that little thing. I want her to take legal action against them and make sure that you go for the jugular, okay? Seriously.
Okay. And our next, we gonna bring it back down south.
We're gonna bring it back to Dallas. Let's fly on back to Dallas.
The Dallas Morning News.
Dallas Morning News again. We had them, I want to say a couple of weeks ago, we had them on there for their biased rhetoric. And it seems like they have something against minority women.
In power, yeah.
In power. Now, if you're Republican, then you get a pass. I will say that because they speak highly of Faith Johnson and this other lady. But this past week, they tried to put out a what I would call a smear campaign on Kiera Saunders. So if you don't know, our very first episode, I think we endorsed Kiera Saunders as to be part of the city council for District 4 in Dallas. Now she's young and she is inexperienced. However, she has fresh, new ideas. And sometimes it's not all about voting for who has the most political experience. Look who we have in office. Sometimes it's about voting for those people who have fresh, new ideas that will help the community.
They got the drive.
Exactly. They got the drive to get their feet wet, get in there and stand up for the people. So Dallas Morning News put out an editorial this this past week. And they actually brought up that Kiera is a single mother. What does that have to do with voting for anybody? They said she's a single mother. They also said that she's been close to being evicted from 3 different apartments.
Yes, this was in an article.
This was in an article on Dallas Morning News, and I'm trying to find everything they said because we have concerns. They said we have concerns about both candidates, but they decided to talk about Kiara Saunders' financial. They also held against her that she is a founding member of the Next Generation Action Network, and I think we both follow them, and we're both part of it. They're a social action organization, and the Dallas Morning News made it key to say this group has held numerous protests and rallies in the past few years in the Dallas area. What does that have to do with anything? And then they put, while there is a role for protest, there is a significant difference between social activism on the protest line and the nuts and bolts duties of finding consensus as an elected official at the council horseshoe. So they're saying because she is connected with this group and because they have held peaceful protests, that she's not fit. She's not fit because she's inexperienced.
They always try to do that. That's what blows my mind. Like you said with Stacey Abrams, the same thing. But other people just, I mean, they be in debt and they file for bankruptcy and then nobody say nothing.
And if you think about it, shoot, we may want somebody, I mean,
that understands
that people struggle. Like Bernard said, people struggle every day. We need people in there that struggle so they know where we coming from.
Because the gap between there's not the middle class is very, very thin right now. It's really just everybody's falling towards that poverty line and just the rich are getting
So
rich.
Would you say that you believe a lot of our government officials, whether it be local or federal, they're part of the middle class? No, not at all. No, and that's why they can't speak for us. In my opinion, you can't speak for somebody who's struggling if you've never been there struggling. You don't know their needs and necessities. You know what I mean?
You're too far removed. And a lot of them don't try to come back to understand that.
So for Dallas Morning News to run this, what I call a smear campaign on her, and she did end up losing, I'm sure. I mean, she did end up losing. And I'm sure it had a lot to do with this article.
I don't understand.
Oh, that's sad. And I believe there are some people writing a letter to Dallas Morning News about this editorial, and I'm trying to co-sign on it right now. So if you want information on protesting that editorial, just reach out to me and I'll give you the information on that. Will.
Next monkey. Now we're finna go across the waters.
Now we finna go overseas international, okay?
British Museum.
Okay. So
this is hilarious to
me.
So basically, Nigeria said they want some artifacts back that this British
belong
Museum,
to them.
that belongs to them, that the British Museum has, and they said that they would loan them.
Loan some. They're called the Benin bronzes. They were stolen in the looting that occurred during a punitive British expedition into what is now Nigeria. So people actually wandered to Nigeria, stole the artifacts, brought them back to Britain. Now they in the British museums. Nigeria want them back, and they want them back now.
And they talking about
you gonna loan them.
Where is Eric Killmonger when you need him?
Where is the real live Killmonger? Because we need the real live Killmonger right now.
Because his show come in there and shake some things up and go and take that stuff back.
You can't exactly. How you gonna loan me something? That's like me taking this piece of paper and you asking me for that paper back, and I'm like, oh, I may lend it to you on the last day of the month every month. Hell no.
Run me my artifacts.
Run me my artifacts. And
now
these Benin bronzes are on display in the British Museum.
I'm just telling you, all we need,
it's theirs.
I need Michael B. Jordan to go ahead and get Killmonger up for me real quick.
We need the Killmonger.
Go over there and get their stuff back and take it back.
Go ahead and the museum director go ahead and slip her that little old spiked coffee. Let her go and fall out and take it on out of there.
And then Ulysses Claw.
Ulysses Claw.
Have him go with you
go
too
in
in that
there.
arm.
Look.
And let him break him off so they
Listen,
can get their stuff back.
You know, we joke about a lot of this stuff, but the thing is,
Give me my stuff back.
don't, and that's the same thing, you know, so many things have been hijacked over history, and you want to loan them back? I say
Renaissance. Like this Renaissance. No,
I think they got the loaning schedule on here. I think it's like 1 week a month. I'm so serious. They need to protest this. I honestly think I read it's like 1 week a month or 10 days out of every month they can have these bronzes. Benin bronzes. I say they go ahead and take the loan
and don't give it back. And don't give it back. Exactly. That's all.
Yes.
Don't give it back.
Yes, let's shake it up. Let's start some stuff. Seriously, because it's ours in the first place. I'm talking about ours. It's theirs. It's theirs in the first place.
Look, give it back.
So they, man, that's crazy.
This
happened in 1897.
Give them their stuff back.
Give them their stuff back. I'm tired of this. Who we got next?
Next, we bringing it back over here. We're
bringing it back to the United States now. I'm sure everybody is familiar, but we're going to talk a little bit about Centonia Brown.
In the justice system.
In the justice system.
There she is.
The justice system has been a flunky for quite some time.
The whole time.
Right. So they're working on clemency, right? Or hopefully they're working on clemency.
That's
for
it's Tennessee?
Tennessee.
That's what
for Centonia Brown. She's been in jail since she was 16. They're trying to tell her she has to serve another 51 years before she can be considered.
For killing somebody that was trying to sex traffic her, I believe. Well, or she was already...
I think the story is she ran away from home and was dating, you know, like a pimp, allegedly. And she was meeting up with a client. She was young. Right. And the guy was actually older, right? And he had showed her all his guns, and it scared her. And she had a gun on her. So he had reached under the bed.
Like he was going to do something.
Like he was going to do something, so she just popped him. It's crazy.
Trafficking is real, bro.
It's so real because they sell this dream, especially like to lost teenagers. You know what I mean? That's like convincing them that this is a better life.
I care about you. I'm gonna take care of you. That's not.
This is a better life. So the Tennessee governor, after he was approached by Black Lives Matter activists, he said that he would consider clemency prior to him leaving office in January, or February. So hopefully.
Kim K went to the White House about her, if I'm not mistaken. That's who she was trying to... If I'm not mistaken, that's who she was talking about.
I thought it was her grandma or something. I know she got her grandma out.
Who grandma?
Kim Kardashian.
Her grandma was in jail?
Somebody in her family was real old.
Girl, goodbye.
And she went...
Goodbye. I believe she was trying to fight for her, too, though. I think Kim K has spoken out about that.
Yeah, it's a lot of people... fighting for Centonia, so we'll keep an eye on this, and you know, in a couple months we'll be able to see if he really gonna make her serve another 51 years.
We're gonna go to the next because what I was finna get into, it's actually in the graduate part. So our next thing we wanted to touch on bullying a little bit. It was a 9-year-old girl, 4th grade, who committed suicide after being taunted with racial slurs and being bullied. And I just think wish I could have found a picture of her. I forgot to look. This isn't the first time we've actually said something about a child that young committing suicide on here.
They were bullying her because she had a white male friend in the classroom, and some of the specifics on what her aunt said was like, you should kill yourself, you have a white friend, you're ugly and all this stuff that, 9-year-olds will say if the people around allow them to say it.
So, it's tough because it's like when you start hearing stuff like that about kids who have committed suicide at such a young age, just committed suicide like in school or, while they're in school. You hear it's something to do with bullying, and the family has said something to the school multiple times, and the school has said, hey, we got it under control. Hey, we're getting it taken care of. Hey, don't worry about this, and then you come home and your child
has committed suicide, like they
so
bullied her and told her to do. And the thing is, the school system has to do better as well, because one of my good friend's son actually got suspended for fighting his bully after he struck him first.
What happened to the bully?
They both got suspended for the same amount of days.
But he been bullying.
Exactly.
We've been saying something.
Exactly. That's my thing. So that doesn't do anything but put fear in people, in students to fight back. But I know one thing, they need to fight back.
Right, and
they
hopefully,
need to fight back.
sending out condolences to the family, because that's
for
just,
sure, yeah.
And I feel like we've heard that you're seeing it more and more. Like you're seeing
9 years old, that's 4th grade.
9, 10 years old, 12-year-olds like committing suicide because of bullying. Like, and if you know, a lot of that is the parents too, not the parents of the bullied, but the person that's bullying. Mm-hmm. As parents, you don't let people do that. Like, you don't let your kids do that to other people, bro. Like, you just don't know where people's mental capacity, especially a 9-year-old. Like they say, suicide is a permanent solution to a temporary problem. But kids don't, at that, you don't understand. And people do commit suicide, we touch on mental health and, substance abuse as well.
Girl.
But, people...
They told her, she said, the aunt said that she was being bullied the entire school year. And they told her to kill herself. You think you're white because you ride with that white boy. You ugly, black, B-word, just die.
And then who teaches a 9-year-old to say that too? Because I don't remember, at 9, that's a long time ago. I don't remember knowing stuff like that to say. You know what I'm saying?
I know you think you're white because you ride with that white boy.
You black B. I don't think I had heard. I lived with my great-grandparents at that age, so I know they weren't. I barely got to listen to secular music, so I know I didn't know what.
I didn't wild out until I went to college, so I don't know it wasn't like that. But if you come into contact with anybody bullying on any level,
right? Because adults
get bullied too. And I was taking up for somebody at work the other day. Like, you don't let them talk to you like that. Don't let them call you that. Come on now, we have to do better. Right. Period.
Right. And her family, they have been involved. They have been to the school. They thought it was under control. Yeah, so, make sure that you just kind of know what's going on, especially with kids. Because, like I said,
follow up.
4th grade, that's so young.
We forgot Pool Patrol Paula.
Oh, yeah, Pool Girl. She can be our last flunky. Mm-hmm. All right, so the last flunky this week, Pool Patrol Paula. And I think this happened over the summer or last summer.
Yep, and she pled guilty.
She was actually,
oh yeah.
You can.
There's Pool Patrol Paula right there.
She was harassing a 15-year-old black male. I know it was him. I don't know if his friends were there, but harassing them about being at the pool.
Assaulting.
Yeah, she actually hit him. They recorded it. She actually did hit him. And she pled guilty recently, and they just gave her a $1,000 fine. Now, let the roles be reversed.
Let the roles.
If he would have hit her,
let the roles be reversed. Because to me, this says that a black teenage life ain't worth of nothing. That's what it says to me. Because this lady actually pled guilty to putting her hands on him. She didn't take no plea deal. She pled guilty. Period.
She better. It was on video. I like I said, just the way in every, like, nobody's on the same page, on the same accord. Like, you see different places doing this and that, and some people this happens, and then some places you got
rapists going off scot-free.
Speaking, we can make that our first grad. We're gonna roll into our graduate list this week.
We're gonna run. Yeah.
In our first graduate, we put UTD, University of Texas in Dallas. The students have petitioned and asked for the removal of a student who got no jail time for rape. And we actually had him on the flunky list a few weeks ago. He went to Baylor.
Jacob Anderson.
Went to Baylor. I guess he didn't get any time for committing the rape. He didn't get no time,
no fine or nothing. And he committed the rape.
The rape. I think, was it more than one?
It was more than one, and he's rich. Let's just say that. He's affluent. His family is affluent. So and got off like got off. Nothing.
He went to UTD, which is out here in the Metroplex area, in Dallas-Fort Worth area, and the students are petitioning for him to be removed from the school and campus.
No more classes for you, sir. You're a detriment to society.
Shout out to y'all for speaking up and speaking out, and and UTD, they gonna have to make a decision.
He don't need to be there. He need to be on some online class.
Yeah, he needs to
be with Phoenix.
They need to be charging him with something, because God honest truth, me being if I was a college student on that campus, I would think like it is possible that can, especially being a young woman, that can happen to me. I could be at a party with him and he
there you go.
And then
look. Listen, we can't
it's
have people like this walking scot-free.
It is a safety issue. So shout out to y'all. I guess we can go back to the top. All right, next graduate is Michelle Obama.
Yes, Michelle.
She's extending her book tour, and her book sales have just been like
over 3 million.
Right, she extended the book tour to like what 21 cities. Yeah.
And for 2019. They're saying that the 2019 tour will also include some European stops. So
Stockholm.
That's good.
And Amsterdam.
They're going to be
Copenhagen.
There will be moderators at each stop. Oprah will be at the first stop. Reese Witherspoon and Sarah Jessica Parker.
Yeah, VIP package talking about
they said the prices went up. The prices have went up.
I really want to get the book. I really do want to get the book.
Yeah, I definitely want the book. And shout out to Michelle Obama for making that work, because I honestly don't think that that she or her team felt that it would take off like it is.
No, I don't think they did.
That's why they only had the few stops.
Initially. So keep, she's Capricorn, Team Capricorn, girl. Yes. I rock with you. Our season is coming.
Yeah.
We're coming. Our next graduate is Janet Jackson. She was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And I thought that's
awesome, because last year they did, or 2 years ago they did Tupac, which is pretty cool. Janet Jackson, some of her songs were like rock and roll, right?
Yeah, I guess because I was looking at the, she definitely was a crossover. I feel like she's more like a pop or, anyway. She wasn't really, I don't know. She had some R&B songs, but if I had to classify her into a genre, I would have said more, I would think pop.
Pop, yeah.
So,
Well, she got her single Black Cat got a Grammy nomination for Best Female Rock Vocal. So maybe she had some singles that qualify her for that.
Which makes sense, because her brother did. They were well-rounded, talented. Yeah. They could do it all. So shout out to Janet. She be out she's out the way, and so that's good that we get to hear something and it's something positive.
Yeah. Shout out to Janet.
Our next graduate is Netflix.
Come on, Netflix. Come on, Netflix.
They ordered their first ever African original series called Queen Sono.
Yep.
When is it coming out?
Next year. So 2019. It'll come out. It doesn't have a month on here, but they're saying this Queen Sono is a South African-based production. It'll be the first original African series on Netflix. That's pretty cool. Because
Right.
now that I think about it, it may be because of the kind of shows that I watch, but I don't see a lot of
They have a lot
African.
They have some African movies on there, and I watched a few of them. They had it was a couple horror movies I watched.
Oh,
on there.
African horror?
They weren't that bad. They weren't any worse than some of the ones that from over here that Netflix put on there. So I watched quite a few African movies on there. So it's cool that they're gonna have an original series come out, and I hope it does well. I know both of us will probably be tuning into it when it drops. So we'll let you guys know if we see when the date hits. We'll post it or speak about it between this or the radio show or the podcast. I mean, sidebar.
If you forgot we had a radio show that fast.
And if you can't catch the lives, everything is gonna be YouTube. You can catch it. Apple Podcast, Spotify, Google Podcast,
Anchor,
everything. Stitcher. I mean, it's everywhere. So just check it out. And our last graduate this week is Issa Rae. Issa Rae, that's my girl. I love her. I love Insecure. Oh my goodness, I just love her so much. She got a multi-picture promotion deal with Columbia Pictures. For diverse writers.
Yeah, she's actually gonna be trying to get them more diverse writers. They're actually acknowledging that they don't have diversity within their production right now. So she's going to be working with Brian Smiley to further the mission of the color creative set out to achieve. So she's going to be doing this for like 4 years. She's
always on it. So yes, honey.
Issa.
So that was our graduate list. I know we kind of went through that fairly quickly, but some of that stuff I do believe if you're kind of in tune with what's going on, you probably heard about it. So
yeah,
shout out to all of
y'all
them.
in tune with what's going on,
right, and staying aware. We will roll into our sports section.
Yes. So,
and girl, the first one we put on here was the Washington Redskins, who have like no quarterback. They went and got Mark Sanchez off the.
We watched them last week, and they got a 40-piece. What is it, like a 40-piece
by the Giants?
By the Giants of all people, with no Adele. But
they had a 7th-string quarterback. I mean, they went and got Mark Sanchez, who's been sitting at home all year. But Cap said that he would be willing to play for the Redskins if they offered him a job.
They ain't offered him no job because for them to go so low to get Mark Sanchez, they was losing so bad that they benched him and put in the next string quarterback. That says a lot. And it's a pride thing right now.
Yeah.
Which is fine because that just further helps Colin Kaepernick's collusion case. That's all it does.
It really does. So we know the Redskins out of there.
They gotta be ashamed of themselves. Seriously.
Everybody breaking a leg. It
was terrible to watch. It was terrible. It was
terrible. But it was nice to see. I ain't gonna lie. It was nice to see the Giants looking excited. Eli had a little life.
He had some bounce.
He had a smile on his face. Yep. So that was nice. The Redskins, it's sad to see them look like that. But it was good to see the Giants look like that. And,
it was.
Derek's a Giants fan, so
throw the whole coaching staff and front office away. Greg's a big Redskins fan, and I think that their front office is holding them back. Because I won't say that they have decent pieces on their team,
right? So
if you're a part of the front office and you're a part of the people who make decisions as far as the quarterback you're gonna bring in. And you have Colin Kaepernick on the table. You have Mark Sanchez along with other people. I mean, to me, Colin Kaepernick should stand out more than Mark Sanchez on any day. Mr. Butt Fumble.
Oh, you took the words right out of my mouth. Mr. Butt Fumble.
Mr. Butt Fumble
himself. But
they
season over with. They might, they just playing for fun. We know that they done for. Hopefully, Alex Smith and the backup have a safe and speedy recovery.
Mm-hmm. And it does say a lot about Colin Kaepernick too. Just the fact that he said that he would play. He's open to playing.
Football. I'm sure that's his first love. You know what I'm saying?
People be trying to say, I don't think he's trying to play no more. He said he would play. Period.
So what's up?
Y'all not. is he not getting no offers?
Right, like y'all ain't saying nothing.
Because Mark Sanchez is not that dude. Seriously.
No, really. Next, we actually put on here the Raptors. The Raptors beat the Warriors.
Toronto Raptors.
Like,
yes,
easy.
Toronto Raptors. Yes.
Without Kawhi, they smacked. What, it was like a 20-piece game?
It was a 20-piece. It was handedly. It without Kawhi. That's where the emphasis. We got to put emphasis on that. And they keep trying to say it's the Warriors. No, we have to take Toronto seriously.
Toronto is good.
We have to take. They no longer the baby dinosaurs. We have to take them seriously. They are full-blown Jurassic Park Raptors.
Right. They are playing well. They looking good as a team.
Yes.
Golden State is struggling. But they have no bench. They have no bench. They have no bench, but all that stuff that happened with KD and Draymond, you can tell it's taking a toll. And I don't know if it's repairable.
We said this a couple weeks ago when that locker room started tearing up.
It has a big
influence on the way you play. You can have the best players in the world, but if that camaraderie is not there, then it will show. It will show on the court. And and everybody talking about DeMarcus Cousins. And
he over there playing peacemaker. The last
playing
person.
peacemaker. Girl, they sent him to play for the D League, and they shows he's playing for the Golden State D League right now. I forgot the name of it.
Because he's a kid. He's supposed to be coming back next month, right?
Girl, but they showed him working out, doing like defensive slides and stuff.
Not the same.
It's not the same, and I mean he wasn't just the best, sliding defender there is, but I didn't see the explosiveness that as a basketball player you want to see somebody coming back, and you can just watch somebody work out and tell if they're gonna help the team. Period. And they sent them down to play for their little G League squad, and we'll see what happens with that. But the way that the Raptors did the Warriors.
That's showing. Look, the league is so much. It's so legit. Right, because we've been complaining for the last couple of years. We know who's gonna come out the East. We know who's gonna come out the West. But this year, I'm gonna make some shade.
Yes. Like this year's gonna be good.
People,
like in the West, I think it's multiple teams that are like 1.5 games out of second place.
Right. Everybody. OKC's playing well.
That's what I said, Derek. LeBron effect. Opens up everything. Right. And he didn't choose to go to a team that was already playoff ready. So
exactly. And then we were the Trevor Ariza deal went through, so Trevor Ariza's now in Washington. That might be I don't know. That might be
what is Washington doing?
Nothing, but they might help a little bit. I don't know.
In OKC, you gotta take OKC serious. They're coming together. They're playing like a squad. It's not as much iso ball like we talked about. And there's more team rebounding going on, which is good. I think
Mavericks are a sleeper. I mean, they need one more peak, but they're going to be a good team.
They're going to be down there like in the AC.
Yeah.
Maybe because if Houston and Utah and them started turning up, then that busts the Mavericks out of there.
They'll be out of there. They looking good. They're the team to stay, look out for, especially in the future. Because Luka,
yeah, he is.
That boy Luka, that boy, he's a bad man, bad man. We placed the Thursday night football game on here, which was the Chargers beating out the Chiefs in a very close
good game. Very high-powered game, offense. I liked it. I like watching the Chiefs play. The Chargers just play better.
I mean, they got some 4 people this year
Phillip Rivers, and I've always liked Phillip Rivers, even though hasn't been the most successful like all the time. But I've always been a Phillip Rivers fan, and I think he's a good leader.
Right? Don't he got like 9 kids?
Girl. He got quite a bit, I think.
Like 9 kids or something. I mean, that has nothing to do with football. I'm just thinking because I've seen them say stuff about like him and his family. So
yeah.
there's somebody to look at. I don't even know how this gonna be. Speaking of football, what we were gonna say, the Cowboys beat the Eagles Sunday.
The Cowboys beat the Eagles.
We was trolling.
It was close at overtime.
Yeah, we were trolling, but the Cowboys win today.
Amari's pulling them.
Yeah, he is. If they win today, they'll probably solidify their spot in the division.
NFC East, yeah.
But Indy is actually their spread is by 3. Indy is supposed to
really
win. Yeah, that's what they're trying to say. So,
did y'all see the Browns? The Browns won last night.
They won last night,
and they in the playoff hunt.
They 6-7-1.
Come on, Browns. I mean, I'm not saying they're gonna make no noise in the playoffs, but that's an improvement
from not winning no games, one game to doing
that's an improvement. And they were saying that the new head coach has won more games than the old head coach and Hugh Jackson in his whole tenure there with the Cleveland Browns. So, I mean, shout out to Cleveland
and Baker made some stuff
Mayfield.
He did. And speaking, when we were talking about the Eagles, Carson Wentz, article came out like the following day that he had been playing with a broken vertebrae
in his back.
It's like he's just so injury prone now.
I know, like, how was he moving around? Because
he did look stiff though. He did look like now that I'm thinking about it, like the way he looked out there, he didn't look like himself. Now, granted, we know he was coming off an injury, but now it kind of makes more sense because he wasn't moving a lot.
He was that.
You know what I'm saying?
That movement wasn't there.
It wasn't, and he was a little more elusive like prior to that. So I really hope he has a speedy recovery. He can, because you start messing with your back and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like ask Tony Romo, ain't that what he had? You know what I'm saying? You start doing stuff like that, it's just,
Yeah.
It's just,
so we hope for a speedy recovery to Carson Wentz. And that's it for our sports this week.
Exactly. Our last thing that we have.
Our last open discussion. Y'all know we always have an open discussion at the end of the live. So the open discussion for this week is this
Kanye and Drake beef.
Kanye versus Drake. What is that?
Kanye boy, he was wilding on Twitter. I'm like, what?
Yeah, he was going in.
Am I missing? Okay, that was my biggest thing. Did we miss it? Did Drake say something to Kanye for this to come back up? Because
see, the thing is, part of me wants to believe Kanye, but because of the, he's had mental health issues and things like that, and he has not shied away from saying that he has mental health issues. But when he says threaten my family,
that's like what
nobody, you haven't showed anything, we haven't heard anything, and not that we should hear but if you make those allegations, we need to make sure that right. So
it's Jay Prince, like that's why I'm trying to figure out. Was it something like Jay Prince said about that? Maybe because I'm like, bro, I'm completely lost on this.
I think everybody.
And then they said Kim said something.
No, Kim came back and said, "Don't you ever threaten my family." Kanye paved the way for there to be a Drake. My thing is,
they said Drake upped the security of his home. I seen
he's upped his security since the Kanye West beef. Kanye even went after Ariana Grande yesterday because she said we need the men to stop beefing or something like that, so I can promote my new song. And he's like, don't mention mental health because you're trying to promote your song. So Kanye is going after everybody.
And he done dyed his hair. He over look like Cisco.
I think Kim Kardashian needs to stay out of it.
Yeah, I'm really confused. Like, I have no idea, like, what sparked it back up.
Because she jumped in it, I think that, because she jumped in it, I think that he actually did threaten the family in some type of way. And Kanye did say that Drake was throwing shots on one of Travis Scott's songs, so he stopped talking to Travis Scott.
Oh, because that's why Kylie and them ain't going to the Christmas party. I said something about that.
And then he said he talked to Travis yesterday. This is all through his Twitter. He told everything. He talked to Travis yesterday, and now they all good. But he said that Travis should have never allowed for Drake to come on his song and diss him or his family. And he also called Drake scary and said that he won't talk to him man to man, but be steady, you know, talking to Travis about the situation and talking to Kris Jenner and sending Kris Jenner stuff about the situation. And he said he would never say that to the stuff that he's been saying, which we are lost on.
Right.
He would never say that to no real dude. Like, you acting tough. That's basically what he said.
Child,
I need Kanye to be more transparent.
Well, like, I know Kim was saying she wants Kanye off of Twitter. Because it's like, you know, it's an outlet. It's crazy because we used to, I know a few years back, you know, people used to talk about people who express themselves or express things that are going on in their life.
It's not like that, though. Twitter shouldn't be used for that, right? Because I used to be on Twitter.
I mean, the way celebrities use it, they kind of address issues and stuff. Because a lot of them don't really use Facebook and stuff. They really do use their Twitter accounts to, like, voice or express or, you know, discuss what's going on. And that's just what people do these days. That's just what it is. You see it on all social media platforms. People just use it to vent, express, I don't know. Like you said, Kanye's not really being completely 100. I'm not even gonna say 100. He's just not giving all the details because it's holes in it. It's like he's giving people. I think
something has been held in the music industry that has not been released to the public, which is fine because everything is not everybody's business. But if you think about it, you know, Kanye and Nicki Minaj, they're like really, really close, like super duper close, and Kim Kardashian, they're super close. None of them talk to Drake. And Nicki and Drake used to be super close. Exactly. So something has happened.
Right. Yeah. It really has.
In that Good Form video she had everybody from Young Money there except Drake. Everybody. And
I will say they've kept that under wraps. Whatever happened with them.
What happened?
Because he don't even rep Young Money no more like that at all. I don't think I've heard him say YMCMB.
I don't know what's going
on.
I kind of do want to know. I know it's not nobody's business, but at the same time, if y'all gonna be tweeting about it,
I was gonna say y'all they're only putting bits and pieces, so it's kind of like everybody's like, well, what's really going on? What's really going on? Because you're confused, and it's like, okay, is it something that people really should know? Like, are you guys really in danger? Like, is that
right? Like he said, threaten your family. He said something
like
about
he
something
threatened
about
to kill
the lyrics.
your.
He said to the right, north on site or something like that.
That sounds like directions, but then again, I have to go back and listen to the song. So
that's what I'm saying. Is it that Out Like a Light song, the Sicko Mode?
Sicko Mode. That's what I was just going to say. Because Sicko Mode, because I didn't put two and two together.
I think dude was just trying to rhyme with Out Like a Light. I mean, but hey, we'll keep up with this, and I'm sure.
Yeah, we will. Because we usually don't do a lot of pop culture stuff, but, you know, we both really like Drake. Been listening to Drake for 10 years, watching them on TV.
And I'm
for
trying to take
20.
Kanye serious. I've been really objective because usually I'll be like, oh, he just needs to get, you know, back on his meds.
When you start looking at stuff in like, you know, you see what he's saying, but then you start putting, like you said, little subliminal, small things like Nicki and Drake not talking no more. And
exactly.
You're just kind of like, okay, well, you know, the beef. Why did the beef come back up? Because it seemed like everything had died down, and now it's back up. So what?
And
you know,
Nicki jumped in it on Twitter yesterday, so that's why I was like, yeah, she was talking about. She actually was talking about him going back at Ariana, but she came back and said that, you know, Pete Davidson was saying that he wanted to kill himself yesterday.
She went to go.
Yes, so Nicki Minaj sent a message to Pete Davidson, and everybody saying, oh, well, that's you flip-flopping because you're supposed to be Ariana girl. But that's not flip-flopping. That's somebody's life.
And we already know. You got to think, I mean, Mac Miller just passed away.
She said that too.
You know what I'm saying? So she said that too. People literally blamed Ariana Grande for
exactly.
that. So people need to shut up on that one because I see where she's coming from.
Yeah.
Like they've already blamed that girl for that. That didn't have really nothing. I don't know if that you can't blame somebody for something like that. Like especially if they weren't there.
So hopefully somebody can dig some more out of this. I understand that. I think this is a legit beef. I do. I think it's a legit beef, but I think
and it's been
for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a video leak yesterday. I did see that on Instagram where it was like from like 2014, and Drake was in the studio with somebody, and he was like, Kanye is really getting on my nerves. Basically saying that Kanye hasn't been giving him his all on, you know, some of the tracks he produced for him.
I wonder if he's talking about Glow.
On that he was like, he's not focused. He's not giving me his all. I was like, okay, this goes back.
Yeah, more than we probably even know.
Yeah, but we'll keep up with this. We will. Maybe talk about it on the radio show or something on
Friday. Because, I was going to say, again, I'm glad she brought it up. DFWIRadio.com. That's who we'll be doing the show with. Again, Fridays,
6 p.m.
6 p.m. will be the first and third Friday of every month.
Yep.
You can follow them on Instagram. I believe it's just DFWIRadio. Our flyer will probably be up there. They'll start promoting it sometime this week. We'll be promoting it on the fan page.
For sure.
Like I said, we still have our podcast. So if you can't tune in to the lives or the YouTube channel, our podcast, and vice versa, the people who listen to our podcast, if you want to put faces with the voices, you can check us out on YouTube and on Facebook. Fan page, go like our fan page, the Miseducation of Senae and Ashley. We appreciate y'all for everybody, you know, that's been rocking with us.
We got people that's really rocking with us, and then if we
not
have something for our fans,
we'll
probably roll it out next week.
Yeah, but we might. Matter of fact, this is what we gonna do. Listen to the radio show Friday. We're gonna roll it out on the radio show, and if you heard about it, then you'll know what to expect on Sunday, and you'll know what to do for you to be a part of this great
opportunity, and we
are giving out. Boy, we're doing it.
We're doing it big. We got a giveaway that's gonna go on. I'm not gonna go into
it will come
too much more detail, but we do appreciate our fans and the people that do support us.
And
so those who do that will be rewarded heavily.
You know, continue to love our videos,
share.
If you listen to the podcast, you know, let your friends know about it.
Yes.
You know, promote it, whatever. Share it on your page, Twitter, Instagram, whatever, wherever. We appreciate y'all. If you have anything you want us to discuss, you know, want to talk about, or you just have some advice for us, maybe, constructive criticism, whatever you have, you want to speak to us, you can message us, her.
You can message me, or you can send an email to our email most of Sundays
at gmail.com. And I mean, that's about it, because we won't be on here till Friday. We'll probably go, like she said, live from our pages, or maybe even the fan page for our first radio show. But again, check it out. We'll be pushing that all this week, so check us out.
Check us out. And thank y'all for tuning in to another episode. We'll be back at you on Friday. And have a great week.
Have a great week.
Bye.